Hello, welcome to our channel, Top 10s You Should Know. In this episode, I'm bringing you something powerful, the top 10 habits to become emotionally bulletproof. These aren't about avoiding pain, they're about moving through it without breaking. From mindset shifts to daily rituals that train your nervous system, this list will show you how to walk through fire without getting burned. So whether you're facing heartbreak, career stress, or just trying to stay grounded in a chaotic world, this one's for you. Let's begin. 1. Emotional detachment. Not coldness, but clarity in chaos. Emotional detachment gets a bad reputation, often confused with indifference or numbness. But real emotional detachment isn't about shutting down. It's about choosing where to invest your energy. It means not letting someone else's chaos pull you under. Many emotionally bulletproof people have mastered this skill by practicing awareness over reaction. When they feel overwhelmed, they pause, they observe, they decide what belongs to them and what doesn't. This habit allows them to move through drama, conflict, and even betrayal without losing themselves. If you've been absorbing other people's emotions like a sponge, try stepping back. Observe, breathe, let go of what isn't yours to carry. Because true resilience isn't in resisting feelings, it's in directing them. 2. Grounding routines. Anchoring yourself before the storm hits. When life starts spinning, grounding becomes your anchor. Emotionally bulletproof people don't wait until they're overwhelmed to act. They build small routines that keep them centered before the pressure hits. Whether it's morning breathing, midday walks, or evening reflection, these habits create mental stability. Grounding techniques help regulate the nervous system, reduce panic, and improve clarity during high-stress moments. Some use physical touch, placing hands on wood, holding a stone, or feeling the floor beneath their feet to remind themselves they're still safe. If you find yourself easily shaken by sudden news or unexpected setbacks, start building your own grounding ritual. Because when you know how to return to center, nothing can truly knock you off course. 3. Journaling through pain. Writing your way out of overwhelm. We often try to push through pain without stopping to process it, which only makes it stick around longer. That's where journaling comes in. Writing down what hurts helps release what's stuck. It gives space to confusion, sadness, and anger, so they don't live rent-free in your head. Emotionally bulletproof people use this tool to name their emotions, track patterns, and rewrite their stories. Some write letters they never send. Others record voice notes instead of handwriting. The goal? To empty the mind and make room for healing. If you've been bottling things up, give yourself permission to pour them out. Because sometimes the strongest form of protection isn't silence, it's expression. 4. Acceptance. Over resistance. Stopping the war. With what is fighting reality is exhausting, and emotionally bulletproof people understand this better than most. Instead of resisting what happened, the loss, the change, the failure, they allow it. Not because they enjoy pain, but because they know resistance creates suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean approval, it means acknowledgement. Once you stop arguing with what already is, you free up energy to focus on what comes next. This habit builds over time through practice, patience, and presence. If you've been trapped in cycles of frustration, try softening. Just once, just a little. Because peace doesn't come from changing the past. It comes from accepting it and stepping forward anyway. 5. Boundaries as armor. Learning to say no without guilt. Many people think being strong means saying yes to everything, handling every burden, solving every problem. But emotionally bulletproof people know the truth. Boundaries are your greatest defense. Saying no isn't selfish, it's self-respect. Every time you agree to something you don't want, you weaken your sense of control and increase inner tension. But when you set limits, with coworkers, friends, or family, you teach your brain that you matter. Over time, this builds confidence, reduces resentment, and strengthens emotional independence. If you struggle with guilt when protecting your energy, remind yourself, boundaries aren't walls, they're fences. And healthy fences make for healthy growth, because true strength includes knowing when to let people in and when to close the gate. 6. Mindful breathing. How 1 minute can change everything. Breathing is something we do without thinking, but when done consciously, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for emotional regulation. Diaphragmatic breathing, also known as belly breathing, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural rest and digest mode. In moments of overwhelm, a few deep breaths can reset your entire state, lowering cortisol, slowing racing thoughts, and bringing you back to the present. Many high performers use breathwork before difficult conversations, after painful news, or even during arguments to avoid regrettable reactions. If you've been caught in emotional storms, don't reach for distraction. Reach for breath. Let your lungs remind you how to heal. 7. Daily reflection. Rewriting the story you tell yourself. The way you end your day shapes how you begin the next one. That's why emotionally bulletproof people build daily reflection into their routine. Whether it's 5 minutes of gratitude, reviewing wins and losses, or simply asking, "What did I learn today?" This habit builds self-awareness and emotional maturity. It turns experiences into lessons, not just memories. Many report sleeping better, worrying less, and waking up more prepared when they close their days with purpose. If you've been ending nights scrolling or distracted, try this instead. Give your brain closure. Because resilience isn't just about how you rise, it's about how you rest your mind. 8. Emotional labeling. Naming feelings so they don't control you. There's an old saying, name it to tame it, and it's incredibly accurate when it comes to emotions. Emotionally bulletproof people don't ignore their feelings, they label them. By naming what they feel, not just sad or angry, but specific shades like disappointed, betrayed, or overwhelmed, they take back control. This simple act moves you from reaction to observation, giving your brain space to respond rather than react. Studies show that labeling emotions reduces amygdala activity, calming the brain's fear center. If you've been reacting before thinking, try pausing first. Speak your truth gently, because once you name your emotions, they lose their power to hijack you. Number 9. Regular solitude. Reconnecting with yourself beyond the noise. Solitude is not loneliness, it's strength training for the soul. Emotionally bulletproof people schedule regular time alone, not to escape, but to reconnect. In solitude, you hear your own thoughts again. You notice your own needs. You remember who you are beyond roles, relationships, and expectations. Whether it's a quiet morning, a solo walk, or a weekend unplugged, solitude teaches you how to be your own best company. Many people grow afraid of being alone because they equate it with emptiness. But the truth is, the more comfortable you become in your own skin, the harder it is to shake you. Because emotional armor isn't built in crowds, it's forged in quiet. 10. Reframing setbacks. Seeing obstacles as stepping stones. Setbacks happen, that's life. But emotionally bulletproof people see them differently. Instead of seeing a failed attempt as proof of weakness, they reframe it as feedback, a chance to adjust, to grow, to improve. This shift doesn't erase pain, but it reduces helplessness. Many high achievers credit their success not to luck, but to how they handled their failures. If you've been letting disappointment define you, try reframing. Ask, what does this teach me? What would I do differently next time? Because sometimes the difference between quitting and continuing comes down to the story you choose to believe, and the strongest minds always rewrite theirs. All right, friends, that wraps up our list, the top 10 habits to become emotionally bulletproof. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experience. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with someone who needs a mental reset, and subscribe so you never miss another episode.